Hello everyone and welcome to the round 19 trades vice captain video. Today I'll be going through obviously my captain, vice captain and trades, or trade because I've only got one left. And also be going through the options that if you have Cherry, who you could trade him to. Alright, because as of last video, North Melbourne hadn't yet appealed. They appealed. And the 3 week stands. So he's out for 3, which is half the remaining season. Rosie, he's listed as a test with a hand injury. Teams aren't named yet, but even if he is named, I'll be keeping an eye out for if he's a late out and have a plan for that. Jason Horne-Francis, he's likely to be out for the rest of the season with the broken foot, I think it is. Nick Martin, ACL, unfortunately he's gone for the season. Chera, he didn't get suspended for running into the umpire. He just got fined, so he's free to play. And Tuki Miller, out with a hamstring for 4 to 6 weeks. So, could that be good news for a Sam Flanders or... didn't want to mention this guy's name again on my channel, but Bailey Humphrey. Alright, so let's get into the rucks. Alright, so, got all the rucks here. I've pulled all this information with the ease of matchups with the run home from DFS Australia. Just all from here. The reds meaning like a harder matchup. Orange with, not as hard, but still pretty tough. The green, slightly easier opponent. And then the dark green, easy matchup. So, that's what those mean. Okay, so obviously I've got their price, break even, probably not really relevant this time of year, but I thought I'd put it in there anyway. And their 3-round average and my comments. So, first up, Riley O'Brien. He's got the Gold Coast, which is a tougher matchup, but he's got a few easier ones and then a couple of harder ones to finish off. You'll notice with the North Melbourne ones, I've got in orange because North Melbourne, Cherry is in orange. But these 3 lines up here where Cherry's not playing, I've put the North Melbourne in dark green, because, don't even know who'll be rucking for them. Anyway, so onto Riley O'Brien. He's got like a low floor. He can score you like a 50. He could score you like a 140 or so, but... just as often he can score like a 50 or 60. So, no, thank you. You got Darcy Fort, Oscar McInerney from Brisbane. I could have sworn Darcy Fort was eligible as a forward, but apparently not. Maybe I'm thinking of last year. Anyway, for both of them, I've just got the same comment here. They're both playing the same team, so I'm going to pass there. Whoa. Okay. Whoops. Alright, so heading on down, we've got Carlton Rucks. TDK, wow, what a fall from grace. He's playing forward now because they don't have Ben Mackay. They need him up forward. And obviously he's not going to score too much not playing ruck like he was at the start of the season. Look at that 3-round average of 76.7. No thank you. And Mark Pittonet, what a nice barrel he kicked at the halftime siren. He scored like a 113, I think he did. But 3-round average 89. He does have like that bit of a lower floor as well. So that's going to be a pass also. On to Collingwood. Darcy Cameron is priced at 571.3k. 3-round average of 102. He does have a high ceiling in him. He's one I am considering. But with Collingwood, they're a couple of games clear on top of the ladder. Could they give him a rest? All right, so that's no good for us. So, if it wasn't for that, I'd be very highly considering. But, with that, rest potential, I might not go there. Mason Cox, just as a pass, But, he's had a good game last week, but, he's not going to score, very highly, even as a number 1 ruck, I don't think. All right, on to the Essendon boys. Goldie, well, he's not playing, so he's passed for me this week. Lockie Blackiston, he's a 170.5k. Now, if you have some spare cash, maybe you could get from maybe a Harry Boyd Up to Blackiston. He is playing as a key defender. He hasn't scored very highly at all. But could you cop that for 3 weeks and then have Cherry come back? I probably wouldn't go there myself. Well, I can't go there myself. Vigo Vicentini, he has been selected to play. Goldie's being rested, and as an Essendon man, I'm hoping that Vicentini can get more games towards the end of the year rather than Goldie, because he could be more into the future of the Essendon team. Same thing. Could we bring him in at R3 for Harry Boyd if you have a spare 20k? But job security, with Goldie, he might come in and out of the side. You probably couldn't, but he's one that I was considering, but I can't even afford that. So it's a no from me, but hey, I wouldn't blame you if you did go there. Alright, so moving down, the Freo boys. Now, Luke Jackson, 602.9k. We've seen what he's done against the easier matchups. He can go massive. Alright, even playing with Sean Darcy, who we're not going to pick, but if for any reason Sean Darcy is out and Luke Jackson's playing solo ruck, absolutely I would go there. But yeah, if I could afford him, even if Darcy in the side, I'm still considering. Actually, no, I can't consider him because I can't afford him. But he does have a 198 break even. If he comes down enough and gets to the same price as Cherry, if he gets, he could be one that I bring in next week, perhaps. Highly consider. Someone can't spell. And he does have Collingwood this week, half and harder matchup. Then he has West Coast, then Carlton, then Port. So a few easy matchups in there. All right, Reece Stanley. Just no. I'm not even gonna. A lot of greens here, but he won't score well. I'm pretty sure. All right, Jared Witts, 563.8k. 3-round average of 121. Now he can score. He's normally around somewhere between 105, 115 type ruckman, but he has thrown a few stinkers in there 50s, 70s, 80s. But he does have a few couple of 150s, and sort of that lower floor, higher ceiling type. He's one that I am considering, but probably won't go there. Another thing is he could be rested. They could bring Ned Moyle into the side, but he only had a rest a couple of weeks ago, so he might have had his rest. And Gold Coast, they want to be playing finals, potentially a home final. So I don't think he's had his rest. All right, next, Kieran Briggs, 449.6k. 3-round average of 103. He has some easier matchups, also some harder matchups. I'm probably going to pass there. Lloyd Meek, we've got at 540k. Now, I think he punched out a pretty big score last week, I think. And he has put up some big numbers, but he has a pretty tough run home. So, I'm probably going to pass there. And I can't remember where I saw it. I think I might have seen it on one of the Supercoach Sword Play videos where, he hasn't scored very well at the MCG, which he plays a lot of games in the run home as well. So, probably not going to go there. All right, now, actually, one I forgot to put here, Maxi Gawn. If you don't have Maxi Gawn, he's pretty much the same price. So, you could just straight swap him to Maxi Gawn. I would highly recommend that. Can't believe I didn't put that in here. Anyway, North Melbourne players. Now, Finbar Malley, Tyler Goad. I think it's Tyler Goad. Sort of rookie priced, but I don't actually think these guys will actually ruck. I'm guessing he's obviously not listed as a ruckman, but I don't know, possibly Bryn Teakle. But I don't think either of these guys score well enough. Or, again, if Goad does play, could you get Harry Boyd up to Goad? And then, yeah, he goes out of the side and Cherry comes back. Yeah, anyway, yeah, keep an eye out on that, but I don't think I'd go there if I could. Port Adelaide, we've got Jordan Sweet at 327.9k. Only a 3-round average of 72.3. You've got Soldo that has only played one game all year. You've got Vizentini, who's out for the year, but I just don't think he's a high enough scorer. I think he's a pass. Nank, he's one that I was very interested in at the start of the year. He's 514.1k, 3-round average of 107. He did have a good end to the season last year as well. He's not tapping down to the best midfield in the comp. Yeah, he's one I'm thinking about though. All right, and yeah, 514, pretty good price for him. And yeah, West Coast this week as well, but then yeah, Collingwood and Gold Coast, couple of hard ones. Yeah, maybe not. All right, on to the Saints. Rowan Marshall, 591, 8.1k. He's playing with Maxi Heath last week, and comments from Ross Lyon saying that we're happy to experiment playing the two rucks. But he did still score 100, and that was against Grundy as well. All right, so I think he kicked at least one goal as well. So that might have bumped up his scoring a bit. But here's one if you can afford it. Yeah, one you can consider. Could you bring in Maxi Heath, if there's an upgrade for Boyd for 20k? And, he does have forward eligibility as well. So if you have, like, say, a Luke Jackson in your forward line, you could swing with him. But, yeah, that could be an option. And look at these. A lot of green matchups here. All right. Yeah, so maybe you could go there. But does he keep his spot on the side? Does Ross continue the experiments? Not sure. All right. So, but if you want to take the risk, you can do that. Now, if I had the money, and if you have the money, to get Brodie Grundy, I would absolutely lock him in if I could afford him. I unfortunately can't, but if you can somehow get to Brodie Grundy, maybe by trading out like a Nick Martin or a Tuke Miller to say maybe a Bailey Humphrey who'll get, or Sam Flanders who might get more mid-time with Tuke Miller out, and then have the money to be able to get Cherry up to Grundy, absolutely. Oh, he's playing North Melbourne a Cherryless North Melbourne this week. Oh, man, he could go like 200. You could get to 800k, I reckon. Look at that 3-round average of 154. My goodness. And there's West Coast in the last game too. And Goldie or Vizentini. Oh my goodness. What a run home for Brodie Grundy. If I could get to him, I definitely would. But I can't, so I won't. Matt Flynn, 369.6k. Yeah, it's a pass. And same with Bailey Williams as well. And then lastly, Timmy English. He's 578.8k, so very similar price to Cherry. 105.3 3-round average. He's got some good matchups on the way run home. So look at that. Essendon, GWS, West Coast and Fremantle, all in the green, according to the info from DFS Australia. He's one that I think I might go there. But yeah. All right. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. Anyone I've missed, let me know. All right. Now on to the team. So we'll start off with the vice captain and captain, which I still have set from my last video, and I think I'm going to stick with it. Just going to be Whitfield into Bont. I reckon Whitfield will go big, so yeah. All right, so we'll stick with that. All right, so trade. Down to my last trade. Alright, I got 590k to play with. Can't get Grundy. Yeah, Max Gawn is a similar price. He's Well, he's 1,400k more expensive. Alright, so we've got Darcy Cameron here. Yeah, like I said before, it could be rested. Tim English, like I said before. Rowan Marshall, who I can't afford. I'm 8k short, so I can't go there. Nan Curvis. Luke Jackson. Could I wait a week and hope that Luke Jackson comes down? Let's have a look here. So if his projected score is 112, so he could come down 37k, which would allow me to get him. Alright. And he does have, some easy matchups. I think he has West Coast next week. Yeah, Wits. Decisions. Well, decision, because I only have one. Yeah, no, not going any further down there. Alright. What do I do? Do I just hold? Well, another option, you can just hold Cherry, and if you have 20, so because it's best 22 out of the 23 on the field. Alright, but that means one of my scores doesn't drop out. Oh, man. And also, I've got Campbell Gray here, who I thought, he was going to come back. But, expected to be available for finals. Well, I don't think Richmond's making finals. He's listed as 6 to 8 weeks, so that's, season over. And Butler, he's a test. Simpson, well, he's expected to be back next week. So hopefully a bit of cover there. Johnson, he's been selected, but he's on the bench. So could he be the sub again? He was the sub last week. So I took the emergency off him and put it onto Boxall. But Johnson ended up scoring a whole 2 points more than him. Alright, so... damn. Do I trade Cherry this week? Or could I potentially bring in Jackson next week? Oh, man. Alright. What I might do, might cancel this for now. And I'll go through what my plan will be if Connor Rosie is a late out. Okay, so what I will do. So if we go down to the games for the round here. Alright, we'll see Zach Johnson. He plays in the first game. So if he scores well, maybe I can, and Rosie is out, use him as a loophole. Or if Johnson scores poorly, or if Rosie does play, just keep him there. Or if Connor Rosie is a late out, I already said that. If Johnson scores well and Connor Rosie is in, maybe swap maybe McCarthy or Holmes or whoever. And then loop, Richmond plays here. St Kilda plays on Sunday. Maybe loop Taru and Mills, because Mills, what's these 55 type scores doing? So might be the plan if Rosie is out. You know what? Stuff it. I am trading Cherry to Tim English. And that is going to be my last trade, and 11.4k left. Can I get that 11.4k in cash, please, Supercoach? Alright, so... yeah, that's what we might do. Alright. And emergency set there. Yep, beautiful. I'll have Boyd as my loop. Yep, make sure leave the emergency on gone. Okay, if I do have a change of mind, I will, put that on my Twitter or X. Alright, so, if... Yeah, no, we might go with that. Alright, cool. Alright, well, thank you very much. That is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Bit of a long one. And I'll see you in the round 19 review. Alright, see you.